So, hello. I should facepalm myself with both of my hands, but yeah. Anyway, once again, I'm back 2 times in the same day. Because I'm an old cow. This is all. Before I will continue, let me check if the stream is fine. And this is quite troublesome for me. Okay. It works. I think it does. So let me go back again in my OBS. Okay. So yeah. 100% I'm sure that it works now. Anyway, where do I start? I will start from the system settings and then I will take it from there because I'm exhausted and I'm doing this for the second time in a day anyway. So I'll go in system settings first. Here we are. And the system, and then about, and then system details. And yeah, I'm back on my old trustworthy Dell Alienware M17 R5 AMD edition. The system has 32 GB of RAM and 2 TB of SSD storage. The CPU is an AMD Ryzen 9 6900HX, and the GPU is also an AMD Radeon RX 6800M, and I'm running Ubuntu 26.04 LTS long-term support with GNOME 50 and Wayland, and it has almost the latest kernel, Linux kernel, which is version 7. And now let's go to the terminal. Here we are. Let me zoom in. I think this is enough. So yeah, as I said, Ubuntu 26.04, also known as Resolute Raccoon. The rest of the system information you can pause the stream or later on my YouTube channel on the video. I just want you to pay attention in the screen resolution. I'm running this system in full 4K 3840 by 2160. It's a 17-inch display. And it is running at 120 Hz. I'm recording and streaming on full 4K resolution, but 30 FPS. And yeah. So let me fix this. Okay. So here it is, the deal. What happened? I promised that I will show you DaVinci Resolve on this system, and moving forward in every modern Linux distribution that I will be setting up on my systems, because I was asked about it by friends and family, and I really try to do this, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me show you what is Ubuntu and what is GNOME, and in order to do that we'll go in the official webpage first of canonical ubuntu.com. So this is it, the canonical Ubuntu, or just ubuntu.com is the website. And when you're trying to download the Ubuntu for desktop, you are moving to this website which reads Ubuntu for desktops, the #1 open source operating system powering millions of PCs and laptops around the world, the secure modern operating system used by millions, thousands of applications, and blah blah blah. And then about the GNOME, this is the official website of GNOME, an independent computing platform for everyone, a more elegant way to use your computer, room to breathe, batteries included, ecosystem, blah blah blah. And now we'll go ahead and read the Ubuntu Wikipedia page. Ubuntu is the Linux distribution based on Debian and composed primarily of free and open source software, developed by the British company Canonical and a community of contributors under a meritocratic governance model Ubuntu is released in multiple official editions: desktop, server, and core for IoT and robotic devices. Ubuntu is published on a 6-month release cycle with long-term support LTS versions issued every 2 years. This one that I'm using, 26.04, was just released a few days ago in very late of April. Anyway, you can read all the important information here, and this is the Wikipedia page regarding GNOME. GNOME is a free and open source desktop environment for Linux and other Unix-like operating systems. It is distributed as the default desktop environment of many major Linux distributions, including Debian, Fedora Linux, Ubuntu, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and SUSE Linux Enterprise, and it's the default in Oracle Solaris, a Unix operating system. And blah blah blah. Anyway, here is the deal regarding the DaVinci Resolve on Ubuntu. I really tried, I did my best, I tried various methods, but it seems that it's growing pains since the system is was released like, as I said, a few days ago, a week ago or something like that. It's very new, very extremely new, and it has various troubles. The other day their servers were busted or something. So of course, if you want to run DaVinci Resolve, this is not the best version to try to do it. Maybe in your system you will have success, but at least in mine it was no go, and I'm sure plenty of other people have the same troubles. So if you want to run DaVinci Resolve, either use another Linux distribution or just use the Ubuntu 24.04, which is the before this version that I'm using now, the LTS version. Anyway, one prevalent method that I tried at first was this one. Daniel Tufeson, make Resolve Deb, install DaVinci Resolve or DaVinci Resolve Studio on Debian. How it works, it says, when you download Resolve or Resolve Studio for Linux, you will get an installer made for the Rocky Linux CentOS RHEL system described in the Resolve configuration guide. That is the only officially supported configuration, and explains why it's better to use this tool in order to install DaVinci Resolve. However, I didn't manage to do it using this one. Not the installation, but the problem I will show you very soon. I finally tried a few other methods, and then I went back to the safe option, but all of them more or less have the same end result. I can launch DaVinci Resolve, I can insert, I can import stuff into it, I can have them try to play back, but nothing happens except in Fairlight audio page, where I can listen to my audio in some of my files. So let me show you how it goes actually. So DaVinci Resolve. As I said, this is unusable basically. So let me delete this one, because if I will try to load this one, it will stuck on a loop of wait, force quit, wait, and eventually, yes, you can force quit, no problem, but if you will try to launch it again, then same problem. So yeah, just ignore it, and I will just make a new project. Here we are. I will go to the edit page. Let me make this window a bit smaller, like this maybe. I will import media. This is the original and one of the conversions that I have done. Trust me, I tried plenty of conversions, but nothing works. And basically this is what is happening. I can, for example, move this file down here in the timeline. And as you can see, I'm not able to see a video or any audio waveforms here, anything, nothing. So this is totally useless. And then I can take my converted file and bring it down here. Oops, my bad. And as you can notice, here you can see the audio waveform. So that was success, but still it's impossible for you to listen or do anything with it here. So it doesn't play back nothing, it doesn't move. So if you go here in Fairlight, then maybe here you can listen to it, like for example this one. So yeah, absolutely useless situation. You cannot use this system to work with DaVinci Resolve. And this one, keep in mind, is the DaVinci Resolve Studio, which supposedly shouldn't have any, at least not any serious troubles with codecs, etc. But here we are. I will just quit it now. So yeah, not a good experience, totally worthless, totally useless. So just don't try it, at least in the first few days, maybe weeks, maybe even months. I don't know when they will solve these issues. And this was my DaVinci Resolve. I tried to show it the other day on the stream. I will try to do the same again. DaVinci Resolve Studio 16. I bought it years ago, and this is its case basically. DaVinci Resolve Studio version 16. Anyway, so yeah, unfortunately this is the deal. It didn't work. I tried, fellas. If you have any good luck in your systems and running Ubuntu 26.04 LTS, please let me know, especially if it's an AMD based system, CPU and GPU, and you have solved this problem. I will gladly read your comments in the videos below. And yeah, and then I wanted to show you once again the progress that I have done with the system. Top bar, application menu, dock, plenty of applications installed and working just fine with theming, rising, whatever, however you want to call it. No problem whatsoever. My own wallpaper jumper. At the moment, for example, I'm in wallpaper 884. So let's just go, for example, 883. One wallpaper behind, and then I will move one wallpaper ahead like this, 885. Boom. As you can see, everything is snappy, instant, like that. No problem. And then I've shown you my mouse cursor factory basically. I will select an already existing cursor. For example, let's just go with Swedish Breeze, and then you select the size, and boom, here it is. Like nothing happened, like nothing changed. And of course it's compatible with all the apps that I have on the system. Worst case scenario, you may need to log out and log back in, but so far, at least for the apps that I'm using, I didn't have to do it after I've finished everything basically. And now let's create a new cursor set while on the stream. This is how you do it. You locate basically the Breeze folder, and if you don't want to locate it, just close this window, and the mouse cursor factory will download it for you. Here you select a name. I will put like toxic, and then you select the colors. I will go like I don't know, some kind of a green like this. And then I will go something with yellow, like this, I don't know. Let's do it. Size now. Oh yeah, we have to wait a bit, because right now it creates in the background the new cursor set for you, for me in this moment. And now you select the size that you wish to use the cursor. You can select any size. You can return here and reselect the cursor and select another size. And yeah, here it is. Boom, this is your cursor. And now we'll do it again. I will go back to my black magenta, because I quite like this one. and the size, of course, 48. Boom, and I'm back. Okay, very easy, very cool stuff. And yeah, I don't want to drag this any longer. As I promised the other day, before I will finish my Ubuntu series, video series, I will return, as I promised, to my MacBook Pro 2012, which is running Void Linux, and then I will try to bring it up to date, bring it to be like modern, like all of my systems now, like even MacBook 2012 running Endeavour OS, or like my Chaos Linux, or like this Ubuntu system. So I'll bring them on par, you know, like having the same looks, same apps, etc. Hopefully all will go well. I'm sure they will, but you never know. You never know. Like today, for example, thanks to my anyway, yeah, whatever. Anyway, so I will return to Void Linux, arrange that, prepare the guide for Void Linux, and then return and finish with Ubuntu 26.04 LTS version, and then I will move to Fedora 44, that it was released around the same days like Ubuntu. Anyway, I don't want to drag this any longer. Sorry once again for dragging it a bit. I'm just, as I said, exhausted, and yeah, I should stop with excuses. Anyway, as always, thank you for everything. I really do. And see you on the next one. Bye.